By the way, folks, in case you missed the first part of this show, I forgot to turn the record on, so we're going to start recording now, and you missed a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah, you did. Okay, but I'm saying on the inverters I have now, I have to put a cover over them and keep them warm, or this weather like here will kill them.
Kill what?
It won't put out any power.
Kill what?
The inverter.
That don't make sense.
Well, it will.
What are you putting into them?
Well, I'm plugging that big battery in out there into it, which is a 12-volt battery, and then I'm running drop cord off of it, and a couple of times, I guess that's what it was, when I turned the light on off of it, killed it.
And it don't come on?
Huh?
It don't come on?
No, the light comes on, but it knocks it off.
That shouldn't do that.
I know that.
I mean, you got to get transistors pretty cold before they quit working. I'm sure it's transistorized.
Right, I'm sure it is too.
I think you got something else wrong.
Maybe. But what I did, when the weather warmed up, I hook everything up like I always do, and it's fine.
You have a lot of things go on when things get cold right now. It wouldn't surprise me a bit for you to tell me the same thing when it gets this cold.
Why?
But, well, I'll just say this. That may well be true, and you may need to keep it warm, but that's a bad design.
Right, okay, I'm sure it is. Well, what I do, I keep a blanket over it in weather like this, and it will heat itself up, because
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It
produces a certain amount of heat, and but I've tried leaving it on for a while, leaving it on, then plugs up into it. Everything cuts off.
I don't know.
I have to go back out there and flip it on. It'll come back on again. I'll go ahead and plug it.
What you've got there is some sort of an override, heater override, and evidently, now okay, here must be what's happening. Your system would work fine if it didn't have any safety devices in it. And what you've got there is an overheating problem just through the transient. Just when you flip it on, it's protecting from a potential problem that would not develop. And you've got a safety device problem.
Right, okay.
And it's protecting.
Like a big hammer would fix it.
Right, might. But here's what it is. They put these things in there, and whenever they get a sudden spike, it shuts things down to protect it.
Right.
Your spike is not a warning that it's overheating. It's a warning that it's actually warming up.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But the simplest thing to do is just cover it up, like you said.
Well, what it does now, after I leave it covered up a while, leave it on, nothing plugged into it. The red light's on, the little fan's working. Okay. I leave it on that cover for say an hour or so. Then plug my light in or whatever I want to.
I bought one of them little 2-cycle generators. $50.
Right.
That it puts out 110 volts, but
probably what 800 amps.
I think so, something like that.
800 watts, I mean.
Yeah, 800 watts. Yeah, 800 amps. You go way over that. 800 watts, and I've not used it this winter, but I'm ready.
Right, you're ready.
I'll tell you what I did do.
Yeah.
Took it down to the lake and fired it up and vacuumed off the pontoon boat back in the summer.
Did you? How about that? Yeah, about how many watts would a television pull?
Yeah. How big? Like that over there?
Yeah, about like that.
I'm going to say 30 or 40.
Okay.
Your problem with an inverter is not power, but
it hurts.
Well, you got to you televisions. I don't know about digital. I don't
Right.
know about the new stuff.
Right.
Maybe even worse. But
Right.
you've got a pretty limited um, limits on how much you can vary on your
Right.
signal, because
Right.
some of the triggering for the sweep pattern to print the
Right.
screen
Right.
depends on the sinusoidal wave coming in, and you don't get a sinusoidal wave off of an inverter. You get a square wave, and if you've got enough filter, and it'll simulate a sine wave. But it's you plug in the wall here, and you get the pretty sine wave, rounded top and bottom.
Right.
One of these your inverters, the cheaper they are, the more likely you've got a you've got a just goes up square, back down square, up square. You don't have that rounded top.
Right.
And some of the filtering circuits in a television won't operate
Right.
properly.
Right. Okay. Right.
But
Well, meanwhile,
I believe you can run your television off of it if that's a question. This stuff they got now is pretty good.
right. Meanwhile, back into the twilight zone.
I've been there most
you know,
of my
you
life.
heard also today that Obama feels that if he will give some tax incentives to the poor sections of this country, that it will stimulate job growth.
Wonder why it don't work the other way.
Well, that's what I was wondering. If it'll work in the poor sections, why wouldn't it work all over the country? I mean, why would he just want to give some tax incentives in the what he determines are the poor zones?
Well, there's one thing I'm thankful for. I missed that speech, and I probably won't back up and watch it.
I intentionally missed it, you know.
So I don't know exactly what he said.
Well, he was there 45 minutes, I believe, trying to convince people of this twilight zone logic that I'm talking about, that tax breaks in the poor zones, which he's going to determine what the zones are, will stimulate the economy. All right, now that's voodoo science to me, because if it'll work there, it'll work elsewhere. Also, I don't necessarily believe what he is proposing is going to stimulate jobs anyhow, because I would not hire anybody to do a job if I did not have the work for them, unless the compensation from the government was great enough to pay everything for that person. Because why in the world would I want to pay somebody to do something if there's nothing to do?
I understand poor old Barry's woman stayed in Hawaii and sent him home without her. Anything to that?
That she stayed?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, you know. Maybe she is no longer proud of the United States. You know, she didn't get
I think
proud.
she's still mad about that there Norwegian woman he run into over there.
Okay. Is that one that knew him?
You know, that blonde he was flirting with whenever Michelle was there with him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The National Enquirer says there's a little discord in paradise, but you know, National Enquirer is not noted for their accuracy on space aliens, but they got Edwards right. That, what's his name? Over there from North Carolina. John Edwards, isn't
Edwards, yeah.
Yeah, they got him right, so, you know, maybe they've got Michelle and Barack all right.
Little Bobby Kennedy number 2, that's what he was trying to be, you know, in looks and everything. And
I think you ought to be selling them canopy roofs myself.
Yeah.
You ever seen that commercial?
No, huh?
There's a man and a woman. They're supposedly a couple, and they're advertising these sunrooms.
Right.
Looks just like John Edwards.
Uh-huh.
Well, not just like him, but enough like him, it looks like him.
You sure that's not him?
No, I don't think
You
so.
ever see that guy and John Edwards in the same room?
Well,
at
it's
the
kind
same
of like,
time?
that Palestinian guy.
That's their Arafat.
Yeah, and
Ringo
Starr. I think Rick Perry and Tail Gunner Joe are got to be kin too.
Yeah.
They look alike.
They got to.
Not Rick Perry, but Cruz.
Yeah, Ted Cruz.
Yeah, Ted Cruz. He looks just like old Tail Gunner Joe McCarthy.
Well, maybe Joe got around a little bit.
Well, you know, Joe, they hee-hawed him and laughed at him and made fun of him, and he's just a scum of the earth. And turned out he told them the truth.
Yeah, I know he did. But that's something you don't do in Washington, D.C. is tell them the truth, you know.
Well, I know. That just absolutely upsets the apple cart, don't it?
Yeah. And yeah, he told them the truth. In fact, that occurred right along about the time I was in college. And I told you about the little incidents of
the printing press?
Yeah, the communist printing press, and also in Greensboro, North Carolina, when they had a death to the Klan rally, and the Klan come by there and did some shooting, and the score was 7-0 in favor of the Klan.
Yeah.
Most of those people who were killed had many storage warehouses, little warehouses rented.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine managed those warehouses, and he had to go in and inventory all the stuff was in there. And nearly every one of them had correspondence with the Chinese communists and with Fidel Castro, and they were all just communist sympathizers is what they were.
Well, I figured out a way we can start a new business.
Okay.
You know, they used to get these here excursions up where you could get on an airplane and fly out to Las Vegas and gamble on the weekend.
Right.
Well, what we need to do is organize some tour groups to go out to Colorado and partake of the new herbs.
Yeah. Go out there for
For
a
a
recreational visit.
You know, out there, I mean, them cruise boats they're passe, they're gone. Nobody cares about that.
Well, there's not too many cruise boats goes out to Colorado.
But we can come back and thinking we're on a cruise boat.
Yeah, we don't want to be like the fellow that went out to Las Vegas driving a $60,000 Cadillac.
He rode the bus home.
You know, he come home in a $340,000 Greyhound bus.
He moved up then, didn't he?
Yeah, we wouldn't want to be that way, you know. Well, I don't know what all those. Have you've been up by Boulder, Colorado, haven't you? Up by the Hoover Dam.
I've never been to the Hoover Dam, but I've been out through. I've been through the Eisenhower Tunnel.
I want to ride up or down that damn hill where everybody's been smoking that wacky weed.
That wasn't where I was. That place we was talking about last week was in New Mexico.
Okay.
But now here's we could really get us a tour industry going here.
Right. Yeah.
We could organize, get everything ready, and just give us your $3,000, and we'll take you out there, and you can smoke pot all weekend. We'll see you get home safe.
And they can bring a half an ounce home apiece.
I don't know where
legally. Yeah, they can legally leave Colorado with it.
Oh yeah, but they're gonna get on an airplane. That way we won't have no complaints when we get home. We'll tell them all to take them a half ounce.
We'll make sure the pilot is a freshman.
Well, no, what we'll do, we'll get them all. We'll get them all to bring an ounce home with them. Then we won't have no repeat customers.
Right, there you go. We won't have no reason to go back, for a while. Yeah, you can do that. We get with airlines and see what charter flight rate would be.
I see vast potential here.
Yeah, said that way.
Especially in the wintertime when it's too cold to do anything else. Other people go to Vail. We won't go to Vail, we'll go to Denver.
Well, you don't want to go to Las Vegas. I went to Las Vegas one time, and the old bus driver, every time he took off, he was just growling them gears and everything. And I was pretty well high, and I said, "Get out of the seat, let me show you how to drive this thing." Well, he didn't even figure that I could get it moving. So he got up and let me sit there and drag down main drag of Las Vegas. I went, and I didn't scrape any gears either.
Well, I've been in Las Vegas one time, and it was in the middle of the sandstorm, and I didn't slow down. I just kept going.
Yeah, I've been there.
On a Sunday morning.
Yeah, I've been there.
Ain't nowhere dead as Las Vegas on Sunday morning.
3 or 4 times.
Hadn't had no breakfast.
Right.
Pulled over in a ditch. I think they call them Roro down there. And had fried spam, and I knew what them there Hawaiians, where they got their opinion of spam.
Right.
You know, that's the only meat they had back in World War II was spam. That's all they get over. Well, practically the only meat. Well, we had fried spam and gravy and toast.
Right.
And you know, that ain't bad when you're hungry.
When you're hungry, that is not bad. I tell you, I used to do a lot of plumbing in this kind of weather. When it thawed up, we just ride down the street and see where the water was coming out from the houses.
Yeah.
And we know they had problems. We pull in there.
You know, I went down Rainbow this morning.
I was making $300 a day fixing, doing plumbing repair. And but we'd come in real late in the afternoon, everything hungry, and we would take and fry some spam, and we'd put a piece of cheese on top of it, and we'd scramble up an egg and everything, egg and cheese and spam on a piece of toast. Now that was that was good when you were hungry.
I know it. I went by Rainbow today down there, and they were down there vacuuming water and pouring it out.
Really?
They had some major leaks when they turned the heat up, I reckon.
Right, okay.
Hello, it ain't easy sometimes.
No, it's not, you know, and but I guess we'll all make it, you know. I got up this morning, my little old truck, you know, don't look like much, but I got up this morning like about 8 o'clock, it was about 5-6 degrees, and
heat wave. Heat wave.
She cranked right up. I warmed her up a little bit, and so I was real pleased, and we're up and down the road, and when these babies came, you know. So folks, everything's okay in North Carolina. I'm pleased to be back. I like it up here.
And they're glad he's back, them people in North Carolina.
Yeah. I'm at home, and my goats are at home, and you know, I'm going to name that farm out there the Mongar Coronet 1 chicken goat farm.
Yeah?
And the reason I'm throwing the chicken in there, Mongar said, now you got a chicken over there in his field once in a while too.
He told you that?
Yeah. And he says, and that Gramble's a little bit concerned about your dog you got up there. But the dog don't ever go out of the yard, you know.
Did you tell him you was a little bit concerned about Granville?
Yeah, I told him about my concern.
You should have asked him if Granville had his rabies shots this year.
Well, I don't think you got to get one but every 5 years.
Oh, okay.
He may have had one 4 or 5 years ago, you know.
I'm glad I ain't got your neighbor.
Oh, I'm telling you what's the truth. Goats and animals are subject to always get out. They have minds of their own. And the dog catcher said that about every afternoon when he went home, his neighbor's little miniature goats like mine were out, and that she was an older lady, and he'd have to help her get them in every afternoon. And I started to tell him, well, why didn't you just call Sheriff Mongar, and he would have gone down there and give her a ticket.
I went up to the co-op today, got some goat feed, found the thing up there that spread out about that big. It's just $32.
Oh, is that all?
You want to rent it?
Is that what they want to rent it?
No, that's to buy it. But I want to rent it and get my money back.
Well, what I might do, I might talk to you about sharing some of the expense there, because after I've get some other goats, and I don't want this one to be the daddy of none of his offspring. I know this is Campbell County, but I don't want him breeding his offspring.
Well, here's my problem. Them fellas, they can't get no peace
Yeah.
for trying to get
A piece.
A piece.
Okay.
Some peas.
Right. Okay.
Because one of them tries to eat and the other pretending like he's the lady of the night.
Right.
And they change. I mean, all they do, buddy. They don't know the rest. I'm going to take care of that.
How about that? Well, I got 2 little monkeys here. How about that?
Sit down.
That would not be outdone, would she?
Sit down there.
So, yeah, folks, we're in the goat business, and
Looks like we're in the dog business.
We're gonna make sure they lose their standing in the community. What does them rubber bands cost?
I don't know. I just need 2.
How about that? Maybe like plugging a tire, you know. You might have to get a whole pack full of them.
I might.
Yeah, I'd be interested. Yeah.
You're going to be even more interested in getting them in place.
Well, like I say, the only thing I do is run them in a barrel, get somebody to hold the legs out like that. And
that feller's the one I'm looking for.
I'll hold them out.
I can get them in a barrel. What I've got them tubes. I can get one of them tubes that the metal comes in so the end's out of it.
Right.
What I'll do, I'll tie a rope to them, get them through there, and then stand it up, and then you can hold their legs.
Right there, yeah, all you gotta do, you can ain't no problem holding
Yeah,
his legs.
you hold.
He doesn't have a whole lot of strength to close them up.
I'm worried about him changing ends on me. You can hold his legs, and I'll do the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, okay.
They'll spread out about that big. They'll fit my goats.
Yeah, okay. Good. We'll have them lose their standing in the community. Come on, baby. Come on. How about that? Have you ever had a lap full of chihuahuas?
No, I'm happy to say I've never had a lap full of chihuahuas.
Well, this is a lap full of chihuahuas. This is Blossom, and this is Delilah. Okay?
Where's Samson?
Huh?
Where's Samson?
Yeah.
Where is Samson?
Oh, Samson. Who's Samson?
Goes with Delilah.
Right. Well, he got killed when he tore the temple down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How about that? She cut his hair off, so she did.
I cut axe hair yesterday.
Right, yeah.
Use my Floby.
What?
Floby.
What?
You know what a Floby is, don't you?
No, what?
It's one of their vacuum cleaner attachments where you cut your hair.
Oh, okay.
This is a Floby cut.
Right, okay. I got me one down here in Sawmill Holler.
The Floby?
Yeah, she cut my hair. In fact, she cut it right before I went to North Carolina.
Yeah, but she ain't got as much work with as some people.
Well, she has on the side. I told her not to cut it too close on the top.
I can understand that.
But what else is going on locally or anything? Have Mike and Hamper been throwing things at one another lately?
They may do that tonight.
Oh, they got a meeting tonight?
Tonight, or I don't know. They had the workshop last week. Maybe they had it last night.
They have it on Tuesday, don't they?
When do they have? They have it on a different night than they have one in Jacksburg.
Well, but see, the one in Jacksburg's on Monday night.
Okay.
So they have this on Tuesday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they may be things are flying up there right now, and we don't even know it.
Right. There's no way now. Are they doing it live on the 1450?
No, they don't. They do that. They tape that or film it. But I still don't know about 1450. What I figured, if they're still going next month, we'll go up there and renegotiate with them.
Right.
If you want to, it's up to you. But I want to get this here UGG TV doing something. Where's anybody else involved or not?
Has someone got a online swap shop going around here?
There's a classified ads thing.
I know, classified. What, online swap shop?
I don't know. Online, you mean live?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
You want to try that?
Well, I was just thinking, you know, there's a way to work it out, you know. Might be good.
We've got an online classified. I'll show you that.
Yeah.
They've got a link to the Wild Bob and Ronnie special.
Right.
Let's see here. This is that online classified.
Right, okay.
If it ever gets up. The Follic Classifieds, free local classified ads. Guy's got a whole lot of listings.
Pardon?
He has a whole lot of listings.
Does he?
See that right there?
Yeah.
That's a link to the Follic News
Okay.
by Ronnie's site.
Right. Oh, baby. I can't find nothing, can you? Hey. I hope I left my cell phone in the car, in the truck, or somewhere. Yeah, I do. Alrighty. Yeah, I was just thinking it may be an online swap shop where people could call in, you know. And
Problem is, the people who, well, I don't know, it might work. Yeah, I'm saying it would if you get the word out.
yeah, well, I'm worried about it. I know we get the business if we can get the operation going.
All we got to do is turn it on.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, say I'm out here and I got something I want to sell. Can I not flash it in on the computer?
Yeah. You're on the computer right now.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm out here and I got something, say I'm at home and I've got a computer.
Yeah.
I'm watching this show and I want to send something in for
No.
you.
Yeah, that can be done too.
Yeah, I figured it could. Because this is an online show, you know, and whoever's watching it and it's partaking in it was going to have a computer. And,
Yeah.
So, in some way to take a picture. So, yeah, I think we might can work that out and work that into something good. It might be might turn out to be more trouble than we want to do, I don't know. But I'm sure we can get plenty of people to take advantage of it, and if you can get plenty of people taking advantage of it, you can get plenty of people to sponsor it. So,
Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens next, I guess.
right. Well, you know, I can't understand how we gonna ever get this country back to normalcy.
As long as people like you and me are in it, we won't.
No, but I enjoy it that way.
Me too.
You know, I believe there's a lot more hard-headed people in this country than myself. You take New York, losing people, losing businesses, losing revenue every day. But there will be no fracking.
We can't have none of that fracking.
Pennsylvania, right down below them, is going like gangbusters with the fracking, you know. And and so is the other areas that are
Well,
doing.
you know, you get out there when ain't nobody looking and you get fracked and you never recover from it.
No, I know that. That's the reason
You know,
I'm very
fracking
careful.
is not a new thing. It's been going on for
Oh, I know that.
60
They've
years,
been doing it here in
longer than that.
Tennessee a long time, you know. And in fact, isn't that what caused it? Oh, I mean, isn't that where the explosion occurred over here that time where they said that employee generated the explosion? Weren't they fracking over there?
somebody get killed?
I think so, yeah.
No, I think that had to do with a coal mining operation where they were shooting.
Yeah, but it was it was an oil rig that over there.
Well, we must be talking about two different things then.
Yeah, over there in what's that county over there, right?
Scott County?
Below Scott.
Anderson County.
Hmm?
Anderson County's below Scott County.
No.
Fentries?
Huh?
Fentries?
No, it's one that comes out down there in Oliver Springs, so you can go Oliver Springs.
Roan?
No, the Oliver Springs is in Rome. I forget what that county's called. I think that's where that occurred.
We're talking about two different things.
Right, yeah.
Well, let's see. That ain't helping none.
I almost bought a place over there one time in that county.
Okay, you got Scott County, Campbell County, Morgan County?
Morgan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it occurred, in Morgan County.
Well, I was thinking about something different. I don't know.
They were drilling for oil over there, and they'd hit oil, and it seemed like an employee or somebody come through there and some way ignited a fire that it was.
I remember something about that. I was thinking about this time they were
yeah.
shooting up here and shot a rock up and it went up and come down and hit a guy going down the interstate.
Well, there's all sorts of ways they're doing that. You know, Obama kindly outsmarted himself on that, you know.
Yeah.
You know how he did that, don't you? He pays the premium for the oil companies to dispose of this carbon dioxide, isn't it? Carbon dioxide. And that's what they pump down in the ground to force the oil out.
Yeah.
So by wanting to get rid of oil,
he found more.
he actually is producing more oil than he would have if he had let it alone. You know, I've seen so many things that the government has done over the years that have been counterproductive or produced the wrong or the opposite results.
Well, you can't micromanage something you don't know nothing about.
That's exactly right. And, you know, I think Barack Obama would have a hard time operating a wheelbarrow.
Well, if they had that in you, God, he could probably keep it from turning over.
Maybe. Maybe.
I'll loan me one of them there tandem wheelbars sometime.
If I run across another one, I'll get one for you. They're good wheelbars.
Yeah, I never seen one like that before.
But we'll get one for you. But, you know, especially the one department of government that seems to get everything backwards is the State Department. You know, as an advisor on foreign affairs, everything they have advocated and advised for turned out wrong. The Egyptian or Muslim Spring or whatever you call it over there turned out wrong. Their advice on Syria turned out wrong. Their advice on Libya definitely turned out wrong. And I'm not too sure that it wasn't their input into Afghanistan and Iraq that caused us a lot of problems.
Well, we needed to stay out of Egypt and actually we should have kept old
Gaddafi.
No, not in Egypt.
You're talking about the one that
starts with an M.
Yeah.
We ought to left him alone.
Yeah, he was.
And Gaddafi,
Yeah.
We ought to left him alone. I mean, they may be killing their own people, but the people they got over there now are killing their own people.
Right.
Might well have our men killing them, and some stranger come along, some upstart.
Might as well have him killing our enemies rather than having somebody else kill our friends, you know.
Even Russia's got more sense in Syria than we do.
Right, yeah.
They're going to let them go ahead and just keep it like it is,
right.
you know.
So, I mean, what can you do over there? I mean, you know, if you were to go in there and take the whole country over, what would you do with it?
Well, we took over 2, and now we're giving them back to the Indians.
Right, and now the Al-Qaeda is coming on so strong in Iraq.
Yeah.
That I forget how many thousands of people they have in their ranks now in Iraq.
Yeah, we just turned it over to Obama, and he, well, I don't know. We need to stay out of a lot of stuff we're into.
Right.
I really think we ought to pump up our military to the point that if somebody steps on our foot, we blow their head off.
Right, yeah.
And then we stay out of a lot of this stuff.
Right,
we just send them a note and say, by the way, we don't like what's going on there. You might want to work on it a little.
Right.
And instead of going in there and committing a force to something, you know, Bill Clinton had one thing a little bit right. He didn't accomplish much, but whenever he decided to intervene in Kosovo over there, he just lobbed some cruise missiles in there and then went to the house.
Right.
He killed more innocent people than he did. But, you know, that might be the best way to do business.
Right, well, who actually sent the troops into Kosovo?
You know, the UN had a presence there.
That's us.
I know, but we didn't. They sent in 2,000 people or something, didn't they?
I don't know, but you know, this boy up here, that's where he was in Kosovo. And
you sell that stove?
no. Yeah, he was in Kosovo. But you know, Bill Clinton also fired missiles, did all sorts of things to Iraq. And threatened to invade and threatened to invade. He's about like Obama threatening on chemical weapons in
Syria.
In Syria. But he threatened and he'd bomb Iraq, and he'd do everything though other than to.
Well, he had the big stick, didn't he?
Huh?
I mean, at least he had the big stick. At least he spoke softly, and I guess, you know, maybe he spoke loudly and kept a little stick.
Yeah, that's what. Well,
under the desk.
You'd have to check with Monica on that.
I was going to say under the desk.
Yeah, you'd have to check with Monica on that. I'm not sure exactly which way that went down. But he had a big cigar.
Yeah.
Okay, he had a big cigar. And but in the case of North Korea, I
So
think,
Dennis Rodman's got that under.
I think Bill Clinton gave them $5 billion not to produce an atomic bomb.
Yeah.
And they
bought uranium with it.
they bought the equipment with Bill Clinton's money to produce an atomic bomb. So
I don't believe them Jews is going to put up with Iran having an atomic bomb.
I don't think so either. I think they've got plenty of time to prepare. I think they already know what they're going to do, and I think in one day's notice that they will have Iran flat.
I think so too.
Yeah. But it's a shame that a little bitty country, not much bigger than Campbell County, territory-wise, would have to do the work for the strongest country in the world.
What gets me is most of their financial backers in the United States are Obama supporters.
That's bad, you know.
That don't make a lot of sense.
No, it don't, you know. But you know, sometimes people, the Jews have gone the wrong way in many ways in the past. If you'll read their history in the Old Testament, you know.
Yeah, they wandered around the desert for 40 years.
Right, they were made a lot of bad choices, you know, and so you know they were down in Egypt for 400 years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being kept in captivity for 400 years?
I'm thinking more about how you could spend 40 years of going on a 2-day trip.
Well, I don't know. They seem to be in a little bit disarray when they were wandering around out there. What was that, the Moab Desert?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked at it on the map. You could ride a horse in 2 or 3 days.
Right.
They probably didn't know horses, but,
Right.
you know, walking.
Well, you can ride a donkey in 4 days then.
Yeah.
So,
We about got a show over, Bob.
yeah, we about done it to you again, folks.
No commercials tonight.
Right. You notice that?
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that I've already been to Diggers today, that don't count?
I went down there too, but
Yeah, down Wilson's
we don't have to do
Gas,
commercials. We actually solicit somebody.
Right, yeah, okay, well, and we don't want to say anything about Napa?
Well, we can tell them how great Napa is, and Digger at 562-5444, and Napa's 562-927
9604.
9604, and we can tell them about Vital Care at 562-9370,
That's it.
and we can tell them about Dixie at 562-5656.
Right,
But that's just free, buddy.
There you go.
We got to go. Bye.